Good job. So we're just back from our long run this morning, total 24 kilometres for me, an hour and 50 minutes, averaging at 4:30 pace. So yeah, good run up to Beacon Hill, I think it is, in Loughborough. Yeah, nice hilly route, all pretty much in the forest on the trails. I've got a full English breakfast to help with the recovery, obviously. Second coffee of the day and some orange juice. But yeah, the food here this weekend has been incredible. But yeah, lovely run this morning. And then we're into another day of seminars and practical sessions, which will be good. Just about to check out of our hotel room. Very nice little stay at the altitude, in the altitude rooms. Gonna head down now to start today's seminars. And yeah, I think we've got a practical session as well. I think go over a bit of circuit training, which will be good.
A lot of the stuff we're going to just talk about this morning is hopefully going to complement what we talked about yesterday. Any questions? This is much, as much as it was yesterday, but probably even more so, a bit more of an open canvas to ask questions, try and divulge into key areas, but also, anything that we kind of missed. Don't go home from this weekend having not talked about something you wanted to get a little bit more information. For me, it doesn't matter who you are. I've taken people from absolutely no running in 17 weeks to run a half marathon. And I said to them at the beginning that you've got to think of yourself like a performance athlete, as in you've got to look after yourself. You've got to make sure that whatever you're doing training-wise, you're maximising that. You are looking after yourself. We're all individual kind of PLCs, individual companies, that you're the chief exec of that company, and you've got to make sure that you look after yourself. For me, all of you, everyone in this room, start looking at yourself as a performance athlete, but that doesn't need to kind of like stress you out and make it be like, I need to like panic and I need to quit my job, and then we can quit your job if you want to, if that makes you happy, and go full time. My philosophy on circuit training is that you want to be robust for the demands of whatever your event is. Our sport is repetitive, okay? But also every time you're running, 2-3 times your body weight is going through your joints, okay? So you need to obviously have some element of strength, you need some element of conditioning to cope with the demand.
In terms of coaching content and everything, that's us wrapping up now. From my perspective, it's just to say thanks for kind of putting your trust in us and our first UK camp. We were delighted when James was willing to come on board, and I hope that you agree that it's been great to spend the weekend with James. So thank you, James' team.
Great questions, great camaraderie on the run today and in meal times as well. So yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's flown by this weekend, which any good camp should.
So there we go, just like that, I'm home from Loughborough, back to the sunny Essex. We had a really nice run this morning up the
the Loughborough Hills, Beacon Hill I think it was called. 24 kilometres, a total of 500 metres of elevation, which for me is quite some elevation. I'm definitely going to be feeling that one tomorrow. It was great to be joined with some Loughborough students who both were very good athletes in their own right. They took us on a lovely route all up the trails. And then we had sort of a coach's corner where we got to ask personal sort of more one-to-one session with James and Callum. Callum was another coach on the weekend. He was a very good runner and coach in his own right, so it was nice to chat with him on the long run, and hopefully we can stay in touch. But yeah, absolutely loved the weekend. Just thought I'd give a little bit of feedback on how the weekend went. There was 10 of us in total, so the trip had a real like one-to-one personal feel to it in terms of access to the coaches, and we got to spend a good amount of time with Matt Bergin, who is an expert in all things running performance. So it was good to pick up some tips and tricks to add to my strength and conditioning program to hopefully stay injury free moving forward. It was also great to meet Shalana yesterday, the Olympian in the 800 meters. Yeah, super inspirational. Nice to just have a chilled chat with her, ask her some questions about her professional running career. So yeah, another great resource. I just want to say a massive thank you to the Running Trips official for inviting me along. The deal we had, just so you know, is I made these 2 videos in exchange for the weekend. The weekend, I believe, costs about £350, which includes a night stay at the Elite Athlete Hotel and 2 days on the running trips with the likes of James Dye, Callum, Jones, Gavin, who was the guy who ran the course, and Matt Bergin as well. So a real great team, and I would say definitely worth good value for money. In terms of who the course is sort of suited for, who would I recommend it to? I'd actually recommend it to anyone in terms of ability and in terms of their running journey, from up to sort of sub-elite, all the way down to your right beginner novice runner. Is a really good introduction into sort of the academia behind running and sports performance. I learnt a hell of a lot over the weekend. One thing that I took away from it was the sort of training you need to be doing for certain disciplines. So it was really interesting to hear that if you're a 10k runner, which I primarily focus myself, that 97% of your training needs to be aerobic and only 3% needs to be anaerobic, so sort of your sprint work and your hill work. It was really interesting to hear that. I thought it was more sort of 70-30, so it was good to get some knowledge, and I picked up a lot of other little tips and tricks to implement into my training in the next few weeks, especially with the build up to Copenhagen Marathon. Going to be focusing on things like my rest and recovery, so sleep, my nutrition, my strength and conditioning, making sure I stay fit and healthy to maximize the training that I'm doing. But yeah, absolutely love the weekend. I won't blab on for too much longer. I just want to say a massive thank you to Gavin from the Running Trips for inviting me along. Highly recommend it. Go have a look on the website. I've left a link in the description, and we'll see you again soon. I'm actually up to Loughborough again next weekend for the Inter-Counties cross country, where I'll be wearing the Essex vest, which will be my first Essex vest. I'm actually heading down with Cole Running, who is going to be running in the Kent vest, so it'll be nice to share a hotel room with him and also get some good competition going. I'm sure he'll end up beating me on the day after his recent 5k performance, but you never know. I'll give it my best shot and we'll see how we do in the Essex vest. But as always, aspire to run to inspire, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.